Hey, I often plan my photo sessions in advance. It's like the planning and thinking about a photo session is almost as rewarding and fun than the actual photo shoot. It's the planning, anticipation, and execution. That's the holy trinity of photography. Now, in my last video, I showed you when how I took a few November pictures. And that photo session was planned in advance. I knew what film to use, what camera to use. I had thought about a site, and I, thought about where I would go in that location, and so I planned it, I anticipated, and then I went and shot the pictures. These kind of pictures. But hey, sometimes you don't have time to plan. I mean, you just need to act. Like the other day, I had just made myself a cup of coffee. It was early in the morning, and I was getting ready for my first video conference of the day. And I had my Mac, and I was just logging into the conference, and I looked outside, and it was this gorgeous November morning, foggy, misty morning. And as I am in this conference, I'm constantly looking outside and thinking that I'd much rather be outside shooting some photographs than in this conference call. So then I grab my phone, call into the very same video conference. I mean, isn't that amazing? It just works nowadays. Like, I can just jump from one device to another, and the participants don't even necessarily recognize that. I changed my background to look like I'm still in the same place. And, remember just 2 years ago, like before COVID-19, none of this would work. Remember Skype? Did you ever get that working for you? It was jittery and it was miserable. So anyway, so now I am on this call with my phone, and I shut off my Mac and I continue with my phone. I go and grab a Rolleiflex, couple of rolls of film, and I head out. I drive to this hill. There's a high hill pretty close to where I live. Getting ready for the photo shoot. It's still misty, it's still foggy, really beautiful. I'm on this conference call. Yes, no, yes, no. And then I measure the light. Just with my phone. I typically use my phone to measure the light. I'm not so particular with measuring light. Like some people say that is the most important thing a photographer can do to measure the light properly. Yeah, I just don't think so. I mean, I shoot black and white, and close enough is good enough. So I measure the light, and I notice that now there is enough light for an ASA 125 FP4. So what's with the films? Like last time I compared HP5. This is my favorite film, most versatile film anybody has ever made. This is like a potato of films. You can do anything with this. But then FP4 is like, if this is a potato, this is like butter of films. Using FP4 Plus makes everything a little bit sweeter, smoother, more tastier. So I chose to use FP4. And then at the same time, I knew that I will develop this with ADOX XT-3. That's the same as Xtol, chemically same developer. By the way, choosing the developer is, in my liking, even more important than choosing the right film. And I always choose the developer before I go and shoot. Like I make that decision before I go and start to compose. Because depending on the developer I use, I get totally different kind of pictures. If I would choose, say, Rodinal and say HP5 Plus, I would shoot both things. I would shoot rough things. I would compose my pictures so that there is less stuff. They are more simple. They are more punchy. Now that I'm planning to use FP4 Plus, that is really delicate, really fine-grained, you know, sweet film, and then XT3 that really emphasizes that sweetness and that sort of delicacy. I want to go and compose my pictures differently. I want to shoot things that show the nuances, show the shades, and show the different details. And especially combined with my Rolleiflex, with this very nice lens. I mean, this X-Tol or ADOX XT-3 and my Rolleiflex, this is like the butter maker of the world, like you know. Anywho, so I'm getting out, I'm still on this phone conference, and I start to compose and shoot. Now, then I notice that unfortunately it took me a little bit too long to make my final decision and get out. And the mist, the fog, starts to disappear. And I know I'm in a hurry. Now, to compensate the disappearing mist, I shot almost all my pictures using the widest possible aperture. In this case, it's 2.8. And when you do that, you can sort of blend the background. You can make the background sort of disappear or emphasize or amplify the mist and the fog. So the theme of the day was a foggy forest, soft, sweet pictures, and then of course the phone conference that I'm still on. I got this kind of pictures. I shot the entire roll, all 12 pictures. Some of them are actually pretty okay, so I kind of like them. It was definitely worth going out. It was one of those carpe diem, you gotta do what you gotta do moments. And I'm getting better and better with this multitasking. I'm actually proud of myself. It's like maybe next time I should learn to walk and chew gum at the same time. Or maybe that's pushing the envelope, I don't know.